We're going to be looking at your portfolios today. So we're going to be looking at consistency, number of images, and the vibe, and whether it matches what you say about your work as well. So let's get started. First up, we have Amy. So you describe yourself as your style is storytelling, documentary, not too much time for posed photos, but some couples photos. Relaxed and natural bit of direction. That's nice. No cheesy grins, no awkward poses. Lovely. So that's definitely the vibe I'm getting here. It definitely feels very natural.
Yep, nice colours, looking good.
Yep, looking consistent so far as well.
Some nice black and whites in there too.
Yeah, it's nice that you've spaced the black and whites out amongst colours as well. And I like how you've spaced out candids with portraits, with ceremony, wedding moments. What are they called? You've got ceremony, you've got confetti and stuff. Wedding moments versus candids.
Real moments, I guess.
Well, it's like the moments of the actual ceremony or the actual wedding versus just hanging around, isn't it? I'm going to call them wedding moments. So we've got nice wedding moments.
Yep, good emotions captured on everyone's faces.
Yeah. I'd say this image, for example, is a bit quieter than others. It's still a beautiful image. It's just sort of quieter than the sort of smiley, movementy kind of photos.
Like the backlit flash shot up there, that's cool.
Oh yeah, gorgeous. I would say these two next to each other are quite a similar pose and similar sort of layout, like they're facing each other in the middle of the frame, framed by some foliage. So maybe they could just be separated in different areas of the portfolio. I think actually your black and whites are quieter. That's really interesting. You've got sort of quiet moments in the black and white which make them stand out, which is nice. Although this one's a sort of more emotional photo in black and white. So maybe my point is not correct. Got lots of different moments captured. That's really good. I like you've got different parts of the wedding captured nice, spread out evenly over the portfolio.
We've got quite a few images going on as well, which is nice.
Yeah,
it's
good
given
number.
us a good flavour of your work.
Definitely. I'll say these two are quite similar as well. They're black and white with spotty white bits. So maybe I'd move those apart from each other. I don't feel like I'm getting a repetition in terms of couples. It doesn't feel like I'm just seeing the same couple over and over again, which is good. Lots of great moments, lots of nice portraits. I'd say you could probably make the whole thing wider on the screen to take up more space on the screen so we can see them bigger. We can click on them, which is good though. That's always nice to be able to do.
Always love a zip line at a wedding. That's
yes.
Cool.
Yeah, good variety. So we've got a couple of golden light cornfield type photos. So maybe they could also be moved further apart from each other. We've got a few black and whites in a row above each other there as well, but that's quite a few actually. And it ends on black and white as well, so I'd maybe end on some colour ones, just because most of your work is colour. And I think we've also seen this one all very similar already. But I think that's a nice number of photos.
Yep, good consistency throughout as well.
Good work.
Like it.
Right, Phoebe. So, I love your consistent edit. It's a very warm, soft style.
So we've got a different style of gallery with this one, where we've actually got to scroll through the individual images rather than a grid. So
I find a grid is really good for getting an overview of photos, but can be overwhelming if you're seeing too many at one time. Whereas going through them one at a time is great to be able to see them bigger, but it takes longer to go through them individually. So I guess it kind of depends on how your ideal client sees things. Like, do they want to see them bigger and more slowly, or do they want to get an overview?
Yeah, it's interesting seeing this side by side with the previous gallery, because it does make you look at these images more, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does actually. It makes you appreciate each individual image more. I do my blog posts like this sometimes, but not my portfolio. But I think it works really well. I think we had quite a few portraits and posy ones in a row here, so they could be moved. But we've got these four. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. They're all the couple, especially these three. They're all the couple in the middle of the frame. So I'd throw them in elsewhere and mix it up a bit. So we've got the same thing again, couple in the middle of the frame. So I'd mix those in elsewhere.
I'd say the ring shot kind of feels like it doesn't fit in, because there aren't thus far any other detail shots.
No, I feel like your portfolio is really strong with candids and lovely natural moments, and that doesn't really fit in with details.
It's a nice shot, but I just think the the people are speaking louder, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. I've got a really distinct idea of your style. It's the couple in the middle of the frame, which is really great for like when they want to print it out and put it on the wall, because it's a really bold photo with lots of like landscape and context, which is really nice. So you'll attract people who, you know, their context and the surroundings of their wedding venue is going to be important to them. Yeah, cute moments, lovely consistency in this one. I'd say again the flowers, same as the rings, doesn't really fit in as well, and the cake too. And I would end on a clearer wedding photo. I don't know if this is a wedding. I'm guessing not. I'm guessing that's an engagement shoot. So I would end on like one of your best photos, to be honest. Like start and end with the best ones. Like just in case someone skips right to the bottom.
Would you move that text to the top as well?
Yeah, definitely. Because you want more of a call to action piece of text here.
Because there wasn't any text at the beginning, was there?
A little bit.
That.
But I would probably
Just
add that there.
End on the button.
Right, well done, Phoebe. Charlotte. So we've got a really nice, vibrant photo to start with. Fun storytelling.
So this is cool because it's kind of like it's introducing the page again. So if you've just come off the home page or if you've come straight to the portfolio page, you're kind of getting an idea of the whole vibe in text before we get to the pictures.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
Not a bad plan.
I like that. Cool, so we've got really deep, rich colours here. Very consistent edit. Lots of great moments, a few nice portraits thrown in, very natural portraits as well. So I think it's as described. I love that you've got a group photo in there because I kind of like seeing a big group photo. And I think I love the big group photo picture.
I think it's nice to see something in London as well because it does show that you're obviously up for doing stuff in London. So if anybody comes here from there, they're going to know that you're up for travelling.
Yeah, true. And we can see so much Brighton in here that you can tell where you're based as well, which is nice. Yeah, really good. I'd say actually this photo, it stands out for me as not fitting in as well. We've got vibrant colours, laughter, warmth and everything in the others. And this one's much more serious and classic.
I think there's 3 shots of this couple where she's got the sparkly green dress. So that one kind of stands out as being in here a few times.
Only because she's got a different dress, I think.
Yeah.
And I like it because it's not a normal classic wedding dress.
It's always tricky when you've got, a lot
Something
of shots
really
that you're
different.
pleased with from either the same wedding or the same shoot. Like, do you put them all in or do you take some of them out?
I like the amount that she's got in here of those, actually. And I think it breaks everything up a little bit as well. You've got a good mixture of different couples as well, and you're not putting them one after the other, which is great. Keeping it interesting. I've probably got to the point where I'd probably stop scrolling now.
Okay.
I reckon if I was getting married, I'd see this and be like, yep, good to go.
So how many more have we got then if you scroll down?
I'm going to scroll down in a sec. I'm just going to quickly make the point. We've got 2 very, very similar confetti photos next to each other here. So make sure you don't have 2 or more things very similar next to each other. Let's see how many more we've got. 4, 6, 8, 12. Got quite a lot. So I'm satisfied at this point. I've seen enough. We have got 3. I know they're from the same set, but it looks like a different purpose at this point rather than just portfolio. It looks like more of a blog post now.
I like the 2 of them together.
Yeah, I much prefer that because it looks like maybe a styled shoot when they're separate.
I think it kind of says it all, the one of them together.
Agreed. These are fab photos, all of them are fab. You're going to have a hard time. If you want to cut it down, you're going to have a hard time. But I think you could do with fewer. Yeah. And there's not really a call to action at the bottom. There's a follow me, which is great, but you really want to get them to get in touch. So pop a big button there.
I would say the one with the camper van really stands out to me because I love camper vans.
Yeah, same.
So always bear in mind, like if you've got shots that have got something that your ideal client is really into in them, you might want to think about putting them near the top, just because that completely stood out to me because of the prop essentially of the camera of the camper van.
You definitely want your best ones at the top. So my way of like curating my portfolio is the best ones at the top, the worst ones at the bottom, and then when I've got too many, I just cull from the bottom. And then it's a case of the bottom ones as strong as or almost as strong as the top ones. If they're not, I would also then get rid of them until I feel like it's a pretty consistent set. Obviously, you've got to have a lot of photos to choose from and have done a lot of weddings to have that opportunity. But as you go along, you can then start culling from the bottom. As I said before, though, I'd have a really stunning shot at the bottom just in case they go all the way down.
And sometimes, what the best photos are is to do with what's in them as much as the actual quality of the photo.
Oh, definitely.
So that's something to think about.
Absolutely.
Oh, and no call to action at the bottom of this one.
Yeah, we need a big button there.
FYI.
Lowry. So, low. Which is called low. I like that. Let's have a look. We don't say anything about your style. It'd be great to have a little sentence here about your style.
So the first two images here are really similar.
They're very, very similar. And they're sort of more posed photos. I don't know what style you're going for. Let's have a quick look and see if we can find out. No. So you definitely want to be talking about your style of photography. I know you say, have a look and discover my style, but it would be great to know how you work and what's important to you. Because I want to know, are you going to be focusing on moments or posing us or what on the day? So I think we've got a lot of the same couple. So definitely mix up your couples. We've got some details which may well be part of your style. Let's see. Yeah, very, very similar photos, these three. Just choose one, just choose the best one. So when you've got similar photos, just get rid of your least favourite and then get rid of your next least favourite until you end up with just one photo. So, for example, these two very similar as well. You could always mix them into the rest of the portfolio if you like them both. But yeah, we have a lot of repetition of photos. So now we've got a different couple. So I think you've done it in order of... Loki's just joining us here. I don't know if you can hear him meowing. I don't know if you've done it in order of wedding, but definitely mix them up because you want it to be your absolute best at the top. And they won't all be from the same wedding, the absolute best.
Yeah, this is definitely feeling... It's got more kind of a blog post vibe where we're going for like a deep dive into these weddings. And yeah, I think I'd probably go with fewer shots, but pick out... That's the cat's contribution there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pick out some of the slightly stronger ones. And maybe, again, think about having those details somewhere else in a blog post or something.
I think I'm seeing 4 different couples. So, that's enough to mix it up. And just, mix and match those weddings. Put your best ones first. Mix in the details as you go as well, because I think details are quite important to you.
But obviously, if you have got more weddings as well, then think about digging into them and getting them in the portfolio.
Yeah, definitely. As long as they're like on brand and your sort of ideal client, or look like your ideal client to an outsider. But yeah, good work. Really, really consistent. Yeah, I just think mix it up on those. Loki has a lot to say. Right, Jam. So, very rock and roll vibes immediately. Even if I didn't know you, I would definitely be seeing those rock and roll vibes, like the first photo you've chosen.
So you've said non-traditional, so we're going to be looking for non-traditional looking pictures from the portfolio.
You could talk more about your style and how you work in that paragraph. I find the black lines a bit difficult to do, because your edit is quite deep. Like the blacks are very deep, so the black lines in between don't help me differentiate between each image. So I'd consider either just having the blue colour in between, or have a clean white colour in between them, perhaps, just to separate each photo out. Edit is incredibly consistent. You've got deep shadows and vibrant colours, lots of moments and a few posed ones. I feel like your more posed ones here are much more traditional than... So, for example, you've got them showing the ring. It's like an identical photo, but very different vibes. You've got the pink jacket and the heart sunglasses, the dyed blonde hair versus a more traditional looking couple. So I would have the one that most represents your brand, which I think is probably the alternative one. Like this with the tattoos and stuff, that's really great to have. It might even be the same. Is it the same bride? I'm so bad with faces. No, it's not the same bride. Pick out the ones who are really on brand for you. So, for example... This group photo looks quite traditional, but this one looks really different. So I would think, which group photo should I show to appeal to my ideal client?
Got a 3-wheel motorcycle coming up, which is very cool.
Where's that? Oh, 3-wheel, where?
Yeah, I think it's
this one.
Three-wheeler, isn't it?
They are quite small. The images are very small. I would actually consider going 3 wide on this page. And I think once they're blown up, they're actually really low res. So I'd re-upload those in a higher resolution. Or I think you can just change, it depends on your website, you can just change the settings to be full size instead of large, because I find on WordPress it defaults to full size, it defaults to large, which looks like crap. So as soon as you click full size on that image, it looks really good. So I think there is definitely an upload quality issue here.
Does it matter with SEO?
It just doesn't want to be too big. You don't want it to be like a megabyte or something, but like you should be able to get your photos at around 500 kilobytes and look decent. Yeah, we've got a lot of energy in these photos, which is nice, and even your black and whites are very vibrant.
I feel like we got a lot from the dancing portion of the day.
That's really true.
That really stands out, actually. So
a lot of dancing. I'd like to see more daylight. Actually, there's not a lot of daylight.
Yeah, I wonder if we could do with a bit more from just the other parts of the day generally, like
the
ceremony
and
the wedding-y moments. Yeah.
Yeah, ceremony, confetti. We've got a bit of confetti ceremony. Yeah, like first kiss.
I mean, I think it's good to have lots of dancing ones because I feel like that is you, Jen.
Yeah, with all the music stuff that you
so I do think that's on brand, but you might just want to sneak in another couple from
just the rest
other
of the
bits of the day.
Yeah, it's a bit more even. Cool. Right, Lorna. So, from traditional church affairs, luxury country, da-da-da. So it sounds like quite traditional when you talk about these types of venues.
That's fun because we've just gone from literally non-traditional to traditional.
That's really cool, yeah.
I feel like this is a good illustration of what options are out there.
I think this one for me looks like a bit of a branding photo rather than a wedding photo. So I'd probably have a more wedding-y photo as the first one we see.
I love that rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow jumper's amazing.
Jumper, yeah.
Yeah, so I said this is very traditional. We've got a church. We've got a picture of the actual signing. Oh, this is the photo that the registrars absolutely... This is why we can't take a photo, because they're like, oh, don't put it on your website. So we've obviously got the fake signing. This is exactly why they hate...
Isn't that allowed now, though?
It was never not allowed. It's legally allowed because it's like public document, but they worry that we're going to put it on the internet. They worry about exactly this, that we're going to put it on the internet. Yeah, I'm getting a traditional vibe from you, which I think an awful lot of couples are looking for. So that's really good. I'd lean into that, to be honest.
Full face full of confetti in the one above.
Oh yeah, amazing. Love that.
Yep, I think this is standing out by actually having a lot of the traditional moments that many photographers just don't want to share actually at the moment, and more power to you. I think if that's connecting with your couples, then 100% lean into it.
Yeah, I think that's great. You just don't really see traditional wedding photography anymore. Like those moments shown, like signing the register or in the church, and a lot of couples are going to be looking for that, and you're doing it really well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for that these days, where all of us are having trouble standing out because there are so many wedding photographers. So, find the things that appeal to you about the day and don't be afraid to exaggerate and lean into them.
I've just realised something. I think we've gone through the timeline of the day. Look, we've gone prep with different couples, and then we've gone to the ceremony, and then we've gone to groups and portraits.
Yeah, cool. That works.
And then to the nighttime. It works. I personally prefer to see the best ones first. And a mixture, just in case I don't go very far, I'll only see prep photos, and I want to see at a glance a bit of everything without having to scroll all the way to the bottom. And I feel like it's sort of missing some sort of... There's a couple of speechy type photos, but I think I'd rather see... And there's not many candids. It depends on your ideal client, though. Maybe they don't want those candids. Maybe it's not as important to them. So yeah, I'm getting more of a sort of posed and traditional wedding moments vibe.
I think we might have been lacking a call to action.
I was about to check as well, yeah.
Oh no, we're all good.
Back to gallery. Oh, is it different things? So you don't really want to send them back. Definitely put a contact thing there instead. So, Dave. Got a nice colourful confetti photo to open with and a dog. Brilliant.
Dog in the first shot. That's cool.
Documentary...
I wonder actually if the call to action is a little bit too early in this one.
Yeah.
So it's actually before we've looked at the pictures.
Yeah, good point.
It's only a minor point, and we're not really doing sort of website-y reviews today, but...
No, call to action is important.
Something to think about.
I like that we've got a whole mixture of different moments in the first screen. We've got a couple of natural portraits, confetti, candids, bit of table speeches or something.
Archery.
Archery? Where's archery?
There's a bride with a bow.
Oh yeah, is that what that is? Oh right.
Yeah. I would say actually it wasn't super clear at first that was a bow.
No, I didn't get
I
that.
actually thought it was a hose pipe that's on.
But she's got a cool tattoo. Look at that. It's amazing.
But I guess it's kind of clear once you see the targets in the background. But
Yeah, if you've got any of
Just
her actually
something
like
to
pulling
think
the bow back, that'd be cool.
I think, like, as a general point, sometimes we get the context of a photo because we were there and we can remember all the cues. But if you've got, say, an 85mm zoomed in shot of it, it might not be super obvious to people looking at it for the first time what's going on. So
Yeah.
just as a general point to everybody, that's something to think about.
We've got this sort of rain shot, which I think is gorgeous and it would look really cool, like blown up big. But I kind of feel like the rain shot doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the photos. I don't know if it's the edit or, obviously the day is lacking in colour. Or the sort of vibe of it, the sort of quiet vibe of it, but it doesn't quite fit in for me with the rest of the vibe of the photos.
You mean the one with the
This
umbrella
guy,
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong storytelling image because obviously the rain is so prominent. You've got the umbrella, and the edit's a little bit kind of cold, so it feels like it's giving off a vibe of loneliness to me.
But that's the thing, it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the photos.
And I think, it's interesting because you've done a great job with the storytelling in it because it's got such a strong vibe of loneliness. But I don't think, obviously, that's the vibe you want to be giving off on this portfolio page. So I would maybe take that one out.
Yeah.
But I do actually really like it
Put it in the blog.
for the same reasons that I'm saying take it out of
Yeah.
the portfolio.
Yeah, it doesn't fit the portfolio, but it fits a blog post. We've got really good, we've got quite a few confetti ones here, but I'd love a confetti photo. Got really nice mixture of moments. Oh, it ended a little bit too soon for me.
Yeah, I'd have liked a few more, I think.
Yeah.
I know that's, it's very subjective and everything, but yeah, it did leave us wanting more there.
Yeah, it wasn't that many. It says, I capture your day in a blah, blah, blah. Then it says, drop us a message. So I know you and your wife do shoot together, so either make that consistent or clarify who us is or put I or me in there. Right. About a Girl. I quite like that title. First of all, we've got a close-up of hands as the main image. I'd kind of rather see faces. You really want to see faces, eye contact if possible, like a photo that really sums up everything you're about.
To me, a close-up of hands like that is more of a traditional vibe, so I'm going to see what vibe we get from the rest of the gallery.
It doesn't actually say anything. So let's go through without seeing what the style is.
I think that does underline why it is good to have some text on the portfolio page, because
It anchors
it's just like subliminally another way of underlining, where even if someone's been to your homepage, they're like, right, this is traditional, or right, this is documentary. Every time you can push that message, it helps people to know what you're about.
I'd say this style is relaxed traditional, because it's a lot of candids, but they're not those like documentary, raw candids. They're just natural candids. We've
got 3 detail shots on the first row.
Yeah, so 3 detail shots. I'd mix those in a bit. And also, the first photos we see are not of people's faces. They're all turned away. So I want to see faces. Just like I said, for the main image at the top, I want to see faces. And again, we've got like grandma and a random guest, and then no faces. So I want to see just like, this one's lovely. That'd be great at the top, because it's just like happy faces towards us. Again, it's just a detail without really much showing your talents here. I want to see how you approach a wedding differently.
Is that an ice cream in the black and white shot?
I do not know. What is that? I'm still on the way. Is it something burning? I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd have that in there because it's really not clear what that is.
Let us know in the comments what it is.
Yeah. So we've got a lot more details photos. If you've got more people photos put in, that'd be great. Again, we've got face covered here, faces, sort of half covered. Faces are obscured in this one. They're facing the other way here. More details, more hands.
I think the one that you just went to, the mirror shot, I'd be tempted to lighten that one up a little.
Yeah, we really can't see anything, so I don't know what's going on in this picture.
I'm guessing it's maybe
a nice moment between her and...
Yeah, like father-daughter moment. But because we don't have that expression on the face, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's
so
too
I'd
dark.
be tempted to just lighten up the middle of that one a little bit.
So we've got like an empty archway. I'd love to see one with like a couple in it. So I feel like what I'm missing from this is faces in general. I really want to see expressions and eyes. The photos are really lovely. I just want to see more of them. Like this one's great. Love that. You know, good confetti photo. They're smiling towards the camera. They don't always have to be looking at the camera, but I just want to see what their faces are, what their expressions are, because people's expressions make us feel something. If someone's laughing, we feel happy. If someone's sad, you start to feel emotional. But with just details and hands and turned faces, we don't get any of those emotions. We don't feel anything from them. And we've got a repetition of two very similar photos here, so I just mix those up because it's nice to show that you got that moment. Gorgeous light. Yeah, lots of details. So I'd say details are important to you, which is nice, which is good. This is a gorgeous photo as well. So this like laughing bride is great. I love all your ones with the big glasses as well. It shows some good character. So we've got like a lot of place settings from the same wedding. So I'd choose like your best place setting from that wedding to show how you do things, but I wouldn't worry about too many more after that.
I'm getting a real like vibrant and outdoorsy feel from
Very
this section.
outdoorsy. Love that. This is gorgeous. Look at that. That's a real framer.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have put that one higher up just because it's such a good image.
Absolutely. Yeah, cool. So I think consistent style for sure. Brilliant, and a really good number of photos, and I like the layout. They're nicely spaced apart, like they're taking up the whole screen, 3 wide, nice size. Call to action is needed, so get in touch, and a description about your work would be great. Quick peek. Hey Katie. Does it say about your style? This isn't a website review, but I will say this doesn't shout weddings to me. It's more of a branding type thing. And it doesn't really say weddings on here. So if you're mostly weddings, I'd definitely put that on the homepage. I'm trying to find out about your style. I'm struggling. No. Moments. We talk about moments in the background. Okay. I really want to know your style. So definitely put that in. Certainly on the portfolio page for sure. Because it just gives people a really good idea of what you're about without having to look through too much. Cool. Nice work. Right, Lizzie. So, Wedding Tour shows how awesome you are. Cool. So again, I'd love to see a bit more of a description about your work.
And again, it's a little bit soon for call to action taking us somewhere else.
Especially to prices.
At the top of the page.
You want them to fall in love with your work before they look at prices. I am finding it very, very compact, very tight. It's like one of those seeing eye pictures. So nothing is standing out to me because there's no gaps between the photos. It's 5 wide. I prefer like 3 wide with gaps. I like the way you've taken up the width of the screen. But it's really hard to actually like focus on any particular photo.
So this is like the opposite of that one where we scrolled through and it was just one image at a time.
Yeah.
It's making it a little bit too hard to take in the individual ones.
It is a bit, yeah.
But we can see
photos.
Really good consistency. So that's great.
Nice mixture of different couples, nice mixture of different moments of the day. Yeah, I'm getting a real sort of, again, outdoorsy, relaxed kind of vibe from this.
We've got a repeat image there.
Where?
So middle row, top and bottom.
Oh, these two dancing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, good shout, good spot. That's so easy to do. I've done it so many times myself. There's not many portraits. I wouldn't mind seeing some portraits because I think you could do some really lovely ones like this one. This one also feels like someone getting ready for a TV set because of the ring light and not being like in a wedding dress or something. And it sort of stands out amongst the others, which are all sort of outdoorsy, a bit boho-y. I'm getting definite boho vibes. There's a lot of flowers in these photos. Lots of flowers. I'm loving that. Really rustic vibe photos.
Yeah, great consistency. I would say all of these look of a piece.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good.
I think I would say there's not enough, but I think if they were spread out like 3 wide with gaps, it would probably be enough.
And then you've got your 2 calls to action at the bottom, so that's good.
Excellent. Nice work. Kirsty. So again, we've got hands, but I feel like these hands do tell a story because of the red nails on the tattoo and the graffiti-ish background and the sort of beaded dress or whatever it is.
Can't really stress enough that it is so much about the details.
Yeah, so this tells a story of a type of client.
You could literally do like an exercise, couldn't you, where you had the same photo where you had the lower half of people and their hands like that, and the background, the nails, the dress, the rings, all of these things could completely transform that photo from one effect to another.
Yeah, it definitely gives off a certain vibe, like a really alternative vibe. I personally love seeing, like I said, I love seeing faces in the first image here. But you've got the big word portfolio across the middle, which I know is really hard to work with when you've got a face. You do not want a word cutting across a face. So when you've got a word over the top of it, it's much easier to have a detail photo, as long as that detail photo is fully on brand. Cool, you talk about your work. Hey, look, colourful, quirky, fun, relaxed vibe, chat with people, blah, blah, blah. Yay, brilliant. Okay, so that's great. We've got a description of your work already.
So obviously colour jumps out first
Very
through here.
much
We can
so.
see it's really, really vibrant.
Super consistent. I'd say similar to Lizzie, there's quite a lot going on in one screen here to take in. It's only 4 wide and it has got gaps. So for me it's easier to distinguish between each individual photo, but maybe 3 wide would then show off the photos a bit better on a laptop anyway.
The smoke bomb shot is nice because that obviously just has a lot of visual impact.
Yeah, lots of lovely couples photos. Definitely a vibe, like the whole Wedstock thing. The ones you've chosen definitely tell me that it's that sort of woodland kind of couples. All the colour shows me they're a bit alternative. Definitely a lot of woodland stuff. Love that. Really consistent.
Got another bride doing archery there.
So that's what I was looking for from the other one, is like pulling the thing back.
Yep, a little bit of
It's
context.
a bit of, context. Cool. That almost ended too soon as well, actually. I kind of want to see more.
Another archery shot.
Another archery. So I do want to see more. What do I want to see more of? Maybe wedding moments. Ceremony. Yeah, I want to see some ceremony here. I don't think we've got any. Got walking out of a ceremony, but if you've got any actual ceremony, like first kiss, walking down the aisle, stuff like that, that'd be great to see. But yeah, really, really consistent. Great work. And you've got a massive call to action. Brilliant.
And we got lightsabers on the bottom right.
So on brand. Love it. Cool. Catherine. Whoop. Oh, so we've got a sliding, a slider at the top, which is cool. Got portrait, got quite very fine art, classic, romantic kind of vibes I'm getting from that. So let's see. Natural, creative, blend in, relaxed. This language for me feels calm. So I'm getting that sort of calm vibe.
The edit's nice and warm.
Yeah, very, very soft.
That fits in with the calm feeling.
It does. It's very, very... I mean, it's the opposite to Kirsty, isn't it? Look at this. Look. Bam. Craziness. Calm. I love that.
Yes, it's lovely to see that variety in all of our work.
That's why we look at a portfolio as a whole like this. Because if you had a random one from Kirsty's portfolio with edit and everything in here, I'd be like, what the hell? Because everyone is looking for a different kind of photographer. And when you stand out as being a certain style, they're going to book you because they're like, right, this is exactly what we're looking for. So I love that you've got this very particular style. And I think actually most people we've looked at today, everyone has had quite a specific style. I think I could probably say whose was whose if I got shown a random photo. So that's really cool.
Is that a prism reflection there, or have you used something
or a phone
that was
or something? Love
reflecting in the room?
Nice. Very creative photos, very beautiful magazine, get printed type photos.
I get quite American vibes from this one.
Oh, yeah. That is, yeah, I'm getting that too. I like the way you've mixed it up. So we've got some portraits, some candids, different focal lengths going on.
I shot with a deer between the brides there.
I remember that photo. That's striking, isn't it? These are all very beautiful, all very consistent. I like that we've got some ceremony, some portrait, some, all different bits.
I would say it's kind of a nitpick, but this fire exit sign did jump out at me just because I think all of the other images in here look so well curated and put together. So I'd maybe just black and white that one, actually, because I think it only popped out because of the green.
And it's also quite an emotional moment, so black and white even better, yeah.
Yeah,
Although I wouldn't have them next to each other because this is really interesting actually, this little story. It looks like it's the same moment with different perspectives, but it's not even the same people. Because we've got the doorway in the same place, we've got a person in the same place, but a different person and a different focus point. It's really interesting.
I mean, for me, that kind of shows how different, the different styles that you can approach it with. So there are photographers where you might see a fire exit sign in the background and they're not going to retouch it out because they're all about keeping it real. You know, maybe they don't straighten the shot. It's just a literal representation of what something looked like. But because I'm getting such kind of dreamy editorial vibes from this gallery.
That's the word, editorial, yeah.
It does, something like that stands out, even though it's such a small thing. So
when I said magazine-y, that's exactly the word I was looking for. Thank you. Cool. Oh my god, the dog. That is so cute. Oh wow, look at that. Where is this? Where are you shooting? I want to go there. These are very, very dreamy, beautiful portraits, very warm and sort of earthy toned, very consistent. I think we're getting to the point where there's quite a lot of photos now. So I think there's possibly room to colour few to make the ones that you keep in stand out even more.
I love the dog contemplating his own reflection.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a philosophical moment going on.
I love that. Beautiful. Did she talk about? She did talk about her style at the top, didn't she? Yeah. I think some of the words we used just now could be really nice to have in there as well. Cool. Fab. Scott. So again, we've got a very different style already. Lots of documentary, harsh light, wide and close up, and like lots of expressions. Very, very expressionful. I think this one doesn't, for me, this is a lovely photo, but it's less sort of wild than the other ones. I love the funny moments you've caught here. I really like the mosaic, or what's it called, a masonry grid you've got going on. It reminds me of PicTime, the way PicTime pulls out some photos bigger. Actually, I really like the way this is done. The way some are big and some are small. And actually, Scott, tell me what plugin you used because I want it. This is amazing.
I'm loving the guy falling in the hedge there.
Oh yeah, great documentary shots.
So the main vibe I'm getting from this is sense of humour.
Yeah.
I think there's a definite sense of humour coming across from the photos.
Definitely.
And I think that I would get the sense that you're going to be part of that fun and part of that humour on the day if I book you, which I really, really like.
I feel like we've got some similar ones in a row, like these confetti walking down the aisle type ones. So you could just mix those up. And 3 black and whites, I think that's on purpose. I think you've done this like an album. You've actually done it like an album where you've curated how they work together, which I've actually never seen anyone do. I've never seen anyone curate their portfolio in such a way, and I find it really quite wonderful, actually. I'm really inspired by the layout. I like the everything in threes thing.
Well, that's good, because I feel like Scott's planned it all out, so if we tell him to change a single image, we'll actually ruin his life.
Yeah, you're going to ruin everything.
We'll ruin the entire page.
Scott, I think with a portfolio like this, you could absolutely sell albums quite easily, because you could just lay it out like this. You've already sort of prepared your couples for this sort of layout, where they see their photos in threes like this.
So yeah, great. This one to me stands out as the strongest sense of humour that we've seen so far of the bunch.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of humour. It's got a good call to action. Good number of pictures, I think, as well. Oh yeah, laughter, emotion, real moments, how your wedding feels. I'd say that sums it up. Yeah, that's really good. Very nice.
I think we're getting a sense of what everyone's superpower is by looking at these. So that's really interesting to me. And maybe we'll do a future reviews or workshop session on that.
Superpower workshop. I always wanted to do that. I love that.
I wonder, I think sometimes we don't all know what our best superpower is.
Yeah. Can you hear the scrabbling? Loki's found a nail file and he's playing with it.
Yeah, he's been in here for like half an hour now and we've exceeded his attention span.
He wants our attention back. Even though he's been sleeping all day long, he's now gone frantic. That's cats though, isn't it? As soon as your attention's somewhere else, they want it.
It's lunchtime.
Oh, this is so funny. He's like stabbing himself with a nail file.
So what is Hannah's superpower? Let's see.
Fun, relaxed wedding portfolio. Great. I love the confetti photo you've chosen. I love this wibbly line as well. That's really cool. It gives you a vibe already. And the fact that you've like bordered a few photos colourfully too. Starts me off on a colourful sort of vibe.
So same point as before with call to action before we've seen any pictures.
Yeah. I love that you've described how you work really well here. I want to see this wider so that each image is bigger because it's really narrow in the screen, so I'm not really seeing them very big.
They're a little bit small for us. Again, we've got a really strong sense of colour here.
Yeah. I'm seeing this orange jacket pop out a few times. But actually a lot of people are wearing orange. That's interesting. You get a lot of orangey couples. Yeah, so maybe we could separate these guys just a little bit further apart. This one's not as colourful as the others for some reason.
I'd like to know, Hannah, do you get lots and lots of colourful couples like this, or do you find that it's just something you're drawn to afterwards, picking out those colourful outfits and couples?
Yeah, I'd love to know that.
Because I do think, there's an element of kind of circularness, isn't there, to it, where as we go on, we start picking out the pictures and the details and the outfits and stuff that we like the most, and then we just start booking more of those.
Do you know what I can see here, based on what you just said? I can actually see the progression of her career. I can see that maybe she started off doing the more traditional, less colourful ones like this. They're taking a while to load. And you can pick out those weddings where, they haven't got the sort of bright coloured things. They do slightly more traditional things like the waistcoats and stuff. I can see a few of those, just a few. Whereas you can see she started to pick up her ideal client as she's gone along and populate the portfolio with those people. And I can see two different types of client here. And I think your portfolio would only be stronger if you took out the ones where it wasn't fully on brand, because you have loads of photos. I know what you're saying. You're going to be like, it's all going to be of the yellow jacket groom if I take the other ones out. Orange jacket, I should say. But there are other ones as well. There's this colourful dress here and stuff. And there's loads of colourful photos that aren't the orange jacket groom. I just think it kind of... These more traditional ones kind of water down the really non-traditional ones for me. So while they're great photos, I think we're looking at almost two different parts of your business, your career here. Because you're very colourful, lots of orange stuff. I'm getting a real 70s vibe from you. So I would lean into that as much as you can. And obviously these things take time, don't they? You have to get the right clients to be able to put them in the portfolio. But by showing it, you get it. So you've got to show what you want more of. Brilliant. Tom. So a very, very different shot that we're shown here. Quite cool, very, very quirky, very brave shot you've got. It sets the tone.
And Venice, maybe?
I reckon that's Cambridge or something. He's in Cambridge anyway, and it's
okay.
It's it's one of those boat things.
that immediately made me think of a destination wedding.
Nah, because he's in Cambridge, I think people would know. People in Cambridge would know. So we don't talk about your style. You're saying where you work, where you live, and what you like. But what about how you work and what couples can expect from you from your style? I'd love to hear that.
Nice double hug.
Very nice. I'm getting energetic candids and really natural, happy feeling portraits. Mixed up the colour and black and white very neatly.
Again, really strong colour here.
Yeah, really vibrant colour.
Things have changed a lot from 10 years ago where everyone's edit was kind of yellowy.
Yeah, it is very, very vibrant. There's the famous lampshade over the head photo that you mentioned. I did it myself as well. Oh, so funny. Yeah, I'm getting strong, vibrant, energetic vibes.
Yep, there's a lot of happy faces here. So that's one of the things that stands out for me.
Definitely. And emotional moments too. I find this one stands out because it is quite different from the others where we can see people's faces and we can see their emotions. But I really like that photo, and if there are any more that are slightly like it, then that'd be good to mix a few more in.
Yeah, obvious point for everyone again, but
there's another one.
If you just have a gallery filled up with the same stuff, then obviously nothing's going to stand out. So it's nice to mix in those really colourful shots or the far away ones just to change the pacing up.
I think the pacing is so good. I think that's my main thing with this. The pacing's really good. We're close, we're far away, we're portrait, we're ceremony. We're mixing things up. We colour with black and white. There's a lot to like keep your eyes interested.
Yeah, there's a lot of action in this gallery as well. So
And emotion.
we had like zip line halfway through a few
Yeah,
images ago
we've had
and
a few zip
stuff.
lines
So
today.
yep, there's a lot of energy going on.
Love it. A call to action would be great. A bit of space here as well. A bit of breathing space as well.
All good.
Really good. Cool. Vicky. So we've got another nice confetti shot. I'd love it if their faces showed. I love the dog butt though.
I want the dog's face to show.
I want both. Maybe we could just make the whole thing taller. I don't know. Natural. Natural, relaxed. Okay, good. It says that. That's good. So we've got an idea. For a couple who do things differently. So they're quite small on the page. I wonder if you can make it wider or make it 3 wide, just so we can see them a bit more clearly. Definitely getting a vibrant vibe. I feel like the cake stands out as not fitting in as well. It feels a bit, because it's a detail shot, and all the others are people photos.
Lots of nice real moments here, which I'm loving.
Yeah.
This definitely feels like we're getting a flavour of what it would look like to be at one of your weddings.
I think the kid stands out as not fitting in as well as well. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is about the kid. I think it's because she's not doing something energetic when kids normally would, and the other people are all very energetic here. I want to see more photos as well. I definitely want to see more.
Yeah, that felt super short to me.
Yeah. Give me more! I want it!
The quality is great of what's there.
Yeah.
But
got
I'd
wedding
like to see
moments.
more, and I feel like, because the quality's already really good, even if it means having, a few less absolute bangers in there, I would just like to see more.
Yeah, I just want to see more of just to get a better flavour of what you're all about. Brilliant. Call to action would be good. Like here, nice big button. But yeah, fab. Lucy, yours didn't load. Uh-oh.
Should we refresh just in case it's been
Yeah, let's have a look.
sorted in the meantime?
Oh, only the Instagram showing at the bottom. Let's do that. Let's look at the Instagram. That's as good a portfolio as anything. So we've got creative wedding photography, natural, relaxed, colourful. We've got some rock hands and lightning bolts. We're definitely getting I'm getting the rocky vibe couples, with a sort of slightly traditional slant because we've got them coming out of church and stuff. We've got the posy ones. It feels quite a muted autumnal, wintry kind of vibe I'm getting, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, it's got kind of a film look or something to it, hasn't it?
It looks American as well, actually.
The colours are still popping. It's also kind of muted at the same time. So
it's a very different vibe to the others.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's the thing, you'll stand out. To couples who are looking for something a little bit different, you'll definitely stand out. I love it. I think this might be a styled shoot. It's got the vibe of a styled shoot, but it feels like it's an on-brand one. Yeah, quite outdoorsy, boho.
So I think so far with this selection, it's been mostly couples.
Oh yeah, there's not really many guests.
So obviously this is Instagram.
It's different, yeah, it's Instagram, yeah.
But just something to be aware of. Is that the impression you want to give off on your Instagram? If so, great. Otherwise, you might want to think about putting some other moments in there.
Cool though. Very cool photos. And it is very, very consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Last but not least, it's our own. We're going to have to somehow self-critique our own portfolio. This is scary. So we've described it as fun and candid. Nice photos of family, but real people having a wicked time. Okay, cool. So silly and stuff like that. So I kind of want to get silly vibes. I can't remember what's in my portfolio, so...
I think there's at least 3 edits in this portfolio as well.
Oh, don't say that.
Because I know a lot of us sweat about which edit we're using. But
we changed cameras as well.
Yeah, we changed brands, changed
preset.
edits, and had a couple of different versions of the old edit. So
I think so far it looks pretty consistent in colour. These two look quite different, and actually they're very similar, with a pointy building type thing. Maybe they could be moved apart from each other. Got a few natural portraits and ceremonies.
I think our new edit is more colourful than our older one.
Is it?
Yeah,
Good.
definitely. It stands out.
This is
more
new,
to
isn't
me.
it? This is a new edit one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find this really hard to do with my own work. Yeah, it's all right. It seems fun. I think I've not been brave enough to put super, like, outrageously crazy ones in there. I've tried to keep it a little bit, sort of a bit more toned down, I guess.
There's some quite older ones in here, aren't there?
There are small ones that I really like, though.
I think just as a side note, Anna's just got a 55mm lens, and last year when we switched to Sony, we both just went for a 35 and an 85.
I just don't feel like it's me.
Yeah, I think previously when we were Fuji, we were shooting 18 and 35 more, so that's 50 and 28 in full frame terms.
I feel like that's
and
more me.
Yeah, I feel like we'll probably be doing more 50s this year.
So maybe we'll bring our style back again.
Yeah, it's interesting that those things go in trends for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you look back at your pictures from the year and you're like, actually, this is not quite me. I'm going to change something.
Yeah. I think people are going to say this one doesn't stand out because they said that before when we did a Zoom. But they're wearing roller skates in a car park, so I think while it looks more dramatic than my other photos, it's still on brand in that sense. I do like the colourful, vibrant vibe we've got going on here. Oh, it's quite a short portfolio. Maybe it could have more. I feel like it could have more, couldn't it?
Cool.
Do I have
Something
a
to
call
work
to action?
on, eh?
Got a call to action there. There we go. Ooh, that was scary, having my own done, even though I was the one saying the words. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Do comment any thoughts you've got on what we've said. But yeah.
And if you listen this far, let us know if you're thinking of changing up anything for yourself this year.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are, what your plans are.
What have you looked at from last year and thought, I'm going to change that up this year?
Yeah, it's good to look at your work and be like, what can I do better? What can be more on brand? What can be more me? I'll certainly be doing that, especially with my new lens. Oh, cheers, guys. Thank you so much for being brave and putting your website, your photos forward for critique. That's not easy. So well done, and I really hope this was helpful for you.
See you all soon.